We are going to start in a seated position with our hands resting in our lap or on our knees with a nice tall spine. Your knees can be bent. You can be kneeling. You can have a leg stretched out if that feels better. So we're just going to find a tall spine, get situated, and then just starting to check in with how our body feels. Kind of scanning from the top of the head to the shoulders and the arms and the chest. Just noticing any sensations, any areas of discomfort or ease or tension, just noticing. Scanning down into your belly and hips, thighs and legs, all the way down to the tips of the toes and the tips of the fingers. Just noticing how your body feels today. Starting to tune into your breath, noticing the pace of your breath. Noticing where your breath is most prominent. And often when we start to pay attention to the breath will start to change. Perhaps lengthening the inhales and lengthening your exhales. Breathing in through the nose, feeling your belly expand, breathing into the lowest part of the lungs. And exhaling, feeling your belly soften. Inhaling, breathing into the belly. And exhaling through the nose, softening the abdominal breath, the calming, relaxing breath for the nervous system helps us to settle. Perhaps bringing that breath up into the chest, breathing into the belly, breathing into the lungs, expanding into the rib cage, all the way up to the heart center. And then exhaling out through the nose, softening through the shoulders, through the chest, through the belly. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing the body to start to soften and quiet. Slowing down the breath, noticing your energy level. Feeling more energized or more dull or fatigued. Just noticing how you feel. Take a few more breaths here before we start our movement practice. Perhaps deepening the breath, inhaling down into the belly, out into the rib cage, all the way up to the collarbone. And exhaling, softening and release. Just noticing the settling effect of being still and breathing. And then we'll start some movement. If your eyes are closed, starting to flutter the eyes open. Good. And we'll just take some sun breaths here. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands down through heart center. We'll just do that twice more. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Good. On our next breath, let's reach our arms up And then let's lean over to the left side, left hand down, right arm over right ear. We're just going to move side to side with our breath. So inhale through center. Exhale, right arm down, any amount, left arm over left ear. And just moving with the pace of your breath, pausing anywhere that needs a little extra attention. Just noticing that opening along the side of the rib cage, along the waist and the low back. Good. The next time we're over to the left side, let's keep the left hand down, right arm over right ear. Just finding that length. And then you can stay here or you can move here. Inhale, open the chest to the ceiling, reach the right arm back. And then exhale, fold over left knee, reaching the right arm any amount. And just inhale, opening. Exhale, rounding. Once more. Exhale. Good. Bringing that right arm over the right ear for stretch along the side body. And then inhale through center. Exhale, right arm down, left arm over left ear. And we can stay right here, stretching along the left side of the body, or open the chest, looking up, left arm behind the back. And then exhale, rounding over that right knee. Inhale, open. Noticing sensations through the chest and mid back and low back. Exhale, rounding. Once more. And exhale. Inhale, left arm over left ear, and then back up to center. Exhale, hands down to heart center, and just pause for breath and notice. Good. And let's bring our hands to our shoulders and just make some shoulder circles. So elbows forward, around, and back. And just noticing maybe some little snap, crackles, and pops around the shoulder blades. They move along the rib cage, loosening up tight muscles. And then reversing the direction of your circle. Good. Releasing the hands to the knees. Let's squeeze the shoulders up by the ears, cradling the low part of the skull, feeling that squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulders release down away from the ears and just feel the release. Good. And let's stretch our legs out long and give them a little shake. And then we're going to bend the knees, cross the opposite leg in front. So probably the one that feels a little strange. That's okay. Good. Finding that nice tall spine. And then let's take some of those sun breaths again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Twice more. Exhale. Now we'll take a twist. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we're twisting to the left. Left hand is behind the back, right hand to left knee. Finding a nice tall spine here and maybe giving a little movement to the neck, looking over the back shoulder, looking over the front shoulder, just move in a way that feels okay for your neck. A little bit of movement side to side. And then looking over that left shoulder, taking a few breaths here, feeling the shoulders melt down away from the ears, feeling the length of your spine. One more inhale. And one more exhale. And chin back to the front. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, twisting to the right. Right hand is behind your back. Left hand is on the right knee. Maybe bringing those oscillations to the neck if that felt good. Just loosening up any tight places. Good. And when you're ready, looking over that back shoulder. 3 deep breaths here. Every inhale, your spine is growing taller. Every exhale, you're twisting ever so slightly more. Good. Chin back to center. Inhale, reach the arms up, unwind the twist. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Good. Let's bring our hands to our knees and just make some circles with our chest. So inhale, bringing the chest across the front knee and then rounding to the back. Just making some circles any way that feels good for you. We're loosening up any tightness in our low back and our waist. If you find a little space that needs a little extra attention, you can pause and breathe in that place. Moving with your breath. Reversing the direction of your circles. Good. And then slowing down the circles, coming back to center, finding a nice tall spine here. And let's just shrug those shoulders up by the occiput again. One more time. Inhaling deeply, squeezing the muscles. Deep inhale. Exhale, release the shoulders down your back. Good, good. Let's reach the legs out long for Dandasana. So sitting up straight, sitting on our sit bones here. If you have any strain in the low back or hamstrings, you can always have the knees bent. But also the knees can be straight, pulling toes back towards shin, belly pulling in, nice tall spine. Arms can be by your side to give you some support, or you can reach the hands up overhead. Just feeling the strength of your body here, seeing how tall and long you can make your spine. Good. Deep inhale. Exhale, we're folding over any amount. Hands can come to thighs, can come to shins, maybe toes. And just take 3 deep breaths here, feeling the release across the hamstrings and low back. Softening any tension around your neck or shoulders. Good. Starting to press into the legs, lifting the chest up, bending the knees. And we're going to come around to tabletop pose. So coming to hands and knees, hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. And we'll move into cat and cow. So inhale, we drop our belly, open our chest, and look forward. And then exhale, rounding, tailbone tilts under, belly pulls in, chin towards chest. Inhale, open across the front side of your body. Exhale, rounding across the back side of your body, making this a big movement or a small movement, moving in a way that feels good for you. Good. And you can stay here with your cat and cow, or you can walk your hands forward a handprint and come forward to like a kneeling plank here. So nice engaged belly, shoulders over wrists, and then press into the hands, bringing hips back towards heels, towards a child's pose, but we're moving back and forth. So not landing completely. Press into your shins, moving forward, shoulders over wrists, any amount, and then press into the hands, bringing hips back. And just moving in a way that feels good for your back and shoulders, your low back and hips. Good. And the next time you're at tabletop pose, walking your hands back beneath the shoulders. Good. And we'll reach the left toes back on the mat, straight leg, maybe coming forward and back, stretching through that left calf and left ankle. Good. And then reaching the right arm forward with the right thumb towards the sky. Nice long neck here. Feel the abdominal muscles engaged, protecting your low back. And the left toe can stay on the mat or can lift. Coming into spinal balance. Feeling the strength of your body, left heel pressing back, crown of head reaching forward. You can always drop the right hand if that feels like too much. And let's take an inhale here. Let's exhale, round the back, bring the knee to the nose, hugging in the elbow if the arm is extended. And then inhale, reaching long. Exhale, rounding. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reaching long. Exhale, hand down, knee down, and let's come back to child's pose. So knees can be together or knees can be wide apart with big toes to touch, hips towards heels, with arms reaching overhead, forehead to the mat. You can also stack your fists and place your forehead on the mat. And take 3 deep breaths here. Maybe returning to that 3-part breath, that breathing into the belly, breathing into the chest, and breathing all the way up to the collarbones. And exhale, softening. On our next breath, we'll return to tabletop pose and we'll take that spinal balance on the right side. So right toes back on the mat, nice long right leg, and maybe coming forward and back on the toes, just stretching through that right calf, right ankle. Good. And then keeping those right toes on the mat, reach the left hand forward, thumb towards the sky. Engage those abdominal muscles, pulling in here. You can keep the toes on the mat or you can lift them. Right heel pressing back, fingertips reaching forward. Good. And then we'll move with our breath. Inhale, reaching long. Exhale, knee to nose, maybe hugging in that elbow if the arm is lifted. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, extend. Exhale, hand down, knee down. This time, let's walk the hands forward. We're coming into puppy pose. So hands are forward, hips are high, and our chest is melting down towards the mat with forehead on the mat. We're opening across the chest a bit more here. 3 deep breaths. After your next exhale, lifting up to tabletop, and we're going to come to lying on our bellies. So feet hip width apart, tops of feet on the mat. Bring the elbows beneath the shoulders for Sphinx pose. Feel your pelvis and thighs pressing into the mat and feel your shoulders lifting. Nice long neck. There's a slight tuck of the chin to lengthen the back of your neck. And just take some deep breaths here, feeling that opening across the chest, strengthening across the back. If you feel any pinching in the low back, simply walk the elbows forward so you're not up quite as high. One more deep inhale. Exhale, soften down. Stack your hands on top of one another and bring your forehead to your hands. And just release here, feeling your body completely relax. Feeling the breath against the mat. Noticing your heartbeat. Noticing how your body feels here. Good. On our next breath, let's return to Sphinx pose. So elbows beneath shoulders, forearms on the mat. We can stay right here, or maybe look over right shoulder, bend left knee. We're just going to move side to side. Inhale through center. Exhale, look over left shoulder, bend right knee. Just move in a way that feels good for you. Doesn't have to be the deepest bend. Just like loosening up tight places. Noticing how your body feels when you move side to side. Good. Once you feel evened out, returning back to center. And again, stacking those hands on top of one another, bringing forehead to hands, and let the entire body relax here. Good. We'll do one more pose on our bellies. Let's bring our hands by the upper chest, hug the elbows back. We're coming into baby cobra. So we're lifting with the upper back, nice long neck. Elbows are hugging in. We barely have any weight on our hands, so mostly strengthening the back side of the body. And just take 3 deep breaths here, feeling the strength of your spine. Good. One more deep inhale. Exhale, lower down. We'll press up to tabletop pose, and we can come back to that child's pose that we did earlier, or we can come into downward dog, walking the hands forward, tucking the toes, lifting the hips towards the sky, and finding your downward dog pose. Feeling chest pressing back towards the thighs, maybe bending one knee and pressing the opposite heel towards the mat. And then switching sides, bending the opposite knee, stretching out the opposite leg. We'll take 3 deep breaths here, moving in any way that feels good. Pressing into more the tips of the fingers and the knuckles to take some pressure out of the wrists. Good. On our next breath, we're coming forward to forward fold. So you can lift up from child's pose and step forward, or from downward dog, you can inhale, look forward, exhale, step forward to forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands at heart center. And just pause for a breath or two here in mountain pose. Good. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lean to the left hand, left thigh, right arm over right ear. 3 deep breaths here. Good. Let's switch sides. Inhale through center. Exhale, right hand down, left arm over left ear, left side body stretch. Good. Inhale through center. This time we twist. Let's twist to the left arm back, right arm forward, hips facing forward. Switching sides. Inhale through center. Exhale, twisting to the right, left arm forward, right arm back. Good. Inhale, unwind the twist. Exhale, let's bring our hands down to the lowest part of the back, elbows hugging back, open chest, looking up, squeezing elbows behind the back, engaging through the abdominal muscles here, opening across the chest. Deep inhale. Exhale, chin towards chest. We're coming forward into a forward fold. Chest towards thighs, hands reaching down to the mat. 3 deep breaths here. Maybe swaying the body side to side. Maybe bending one knee and then the other. Good. Then hands to shins. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing, maybe looking up to the fingertips. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that twice more at your pace. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, finding that strength through the hamstrings, nice long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart center. Once more, moving with your breath. Pause with hands at heart center, soft gaze or closed eyes, and just feel your body here. Notice how you feel. Notice the effects of movement and breath and quiet. Good. Reaching your arms down by your side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. We're going to exhale, fold, and this time step back with the left foot. So we're in a high lunge, right knee bent. You can keep your back knee up or down, whichever feels best. And hands can stay on the mat or come to the thigh or reach up overhead. So finding a nice long spine here, right knee over right ankle, left heel pressing back. And let's move with our breath. Let's inhale, straighten the front knee, arms reaching up. Exhale, bend the knee, bend the elbows, open for cactus arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Reach the arms up. Stay in the high lunge. Good. And let's bring the hands back down to the mat. We're coming into pyramid pose. So we're straightening the front leg, placing the back heel down. You can also be in a half splits if that back knee is on the mat. Either way, we're stretching through the back of that right leg, reaching the crown of the head forward, finding length in the spine as we fold over the right thigh. 3 deep breaths. Good. Let's bend that front knee. Bring the back knee down. Right knee meets the left. And we can stay in tabletop or we can come to plank with the shoulders over the wrists. Knees can be down or knees can be up. Just take a couple of breaths here, feeling the abdominal muscles engage, lifting up towards the spine. Deep inhale. Exhale, bringing the chest down to the mat, upper arms hug the upper chest, belly, thighs on the mat. Let's come into that baby cobra. Good. Release the baby cobra, pressing back to table, coming to child's pose, or lifting up and back to downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Good. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, stepping forward. We're in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands at heart center. Pause for a breath here. Good. Let's move to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, we're stepping the right foot back. So left knee is bent over left ankle. Right knee can be up or right knee can be down. Can bring hands to thigh or heart center or reaching up overhead. Let's move with our breath. Inhale, straighten the front knee. Exhale, bend the knee, cactus the arms. Twice more. Reaching back up through your lunge. Exhale, hands down to the mat. We're coming into pyramid pose. We're straightening the front knee any amount. Back heel down. You can also have the back knee down for half split. Good. Bend into that front knee. Hands to the mat. Stepping the left knee back. We're coming into that tabletop or plank with knees down or plank with knees up. Feel your hands squeezing in towards one another, engaging your chest muscles. Feel your abdominal muscles engaged. Deep inhale. Exhale, bend your elbows. Chest comes down to the mat. Release the tops of your feet. Coming into that baby cobra. Release your chest down. Press back to tabletop, coming into child's pose or coming into downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Good. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step forward to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a few breaths here. Soft gaze or closed eyes. Just checking back in with your body, noticing how you feel, noticing any shifts in sensation, shifts in energy, shifts in the thoughts moving through the mind. Good. And let's step lengthwise on the mat, wide feet. And we'll take warrior two. So on the right foot first. So right foot faces forward, right knee bent over right ankle. The right foot is lined up with the back arch. Your hips are facing slightly to the right. Chest is opening to the long edge of the mat, arms reaching front to back, looking over those right fingertips. Pressing down through the feet, reaching up through the crown of the head, feeling strong in your warrior two. Good, and we'll move with the breath here. We'll inhale here. Exhale, left hand, left thigh, right arm to the sky or towards the back of the room. Inhale back up to warrior two. Exhale, side angle, right forearm, right thigh, left arm to the sky, maybe over left ear. And then we move with our breath. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Move at your pace and at your depth. Good. The next time you end up in warrior two, hands to hips, straighten that right knee. And we'll just switch to the left side. So left foot facing the front, left heel lines up with the back arch. Finding that alignment through the hips and spine, gaze over front fingertips. Now let's move with the breath. Inhale in warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Right hand, right thigh. Left arm reaches up and maybe towards the back. Inhale through center. Exhale, side angle. Inhale. Exhale, reverse. Move at your pace. Next time you're at warrior two, bring your hands to your hips and straighten that left knee. We'll come into a wide leg forward fold. So toes in, heels out, hands on hips. And first start with opening the chest, maybe looking up, elbows squeezing back, breathing into the chest here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, chin towards chest. We're starting to fold forward. Knees can be bent or mostly straight. Hands can be on thighs or shins or maybe the mat. If the head is hanging all the way over, you can shake the head yes or no and just release the weight of the head from the muscles of the neck. Slow, deep breaths here. Just releasing tension from the body. Good. On our next breath, hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. And let's heel toe the feet in so that we're in a forward fold. And then fold. Press into the feet, reverse swan dive all the way up to standing, hands at heart center. Good. If you're facing the side of your mat, face towards the front of your mat, and we'll move down to the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift with a flat back. Exhale, fold, bringing hands to the mat, stepping back to tabletop, and then hips back towards heels, coming into child's pose. Knees can be more together or knees can be wide apart. And just slowing down the breath here. Maybe walking fingertips over to the left, stretching along the right side of the body. Inhale, hands through center. Exhale, walking them over to the right, stretching along the left side body. Walk hands back to center. Press up to kneeling and bring the hips to one side of the feet. We're going to come to lying on our backs. So finding the hips in the center of your mat. And slowly rolling down vertebra by vertebra onto your back. Good. And landing on your back, feeling supported by your mat, giving a little tuck of your pelvis so your low back is pressing into the mat. And then we'll hug the knees in towards the chest and give a little rock side to side. Keeping the right knee hugged in. Reach the left leg long. The left knee can be bent with the foot on the mat, or the left leg can be long. Keeping that right knee moving a little side to side. Good. Hug that left knee back into the chest. Reaching the right leg long. Knee can be bent or straight. And keep that left knee moving side to side. Good. Hug both knees into the chest. Come into happy baby. So hugging onto the knees or bringing your hands up to the outside of your feet or your big toes, giving a little rock side to side. Keeping that low back on the mat, moving in a way that feels good here. We're slowing down our practice, stretching any last little tight place. And when you're ready, we'll release into Shavasana. So finding yourself in a comfortable position, your knees can be bent, falling in towards one another, or your legs can be long with your arms by your side. Just feeling your body completely supported by the mat. Feeling the breath moving in, feeling the breath moving out. Just scan through the body, noticing any last little areas of tension or tightness, and we'll breathe into those areas to notice and release. Breathe in through the nose, expand the breath into the belly. As you exhale, breathe all the way down to the tips of your toes and soles of your feet. Breathe in deeply. As you exhale, soften the muscles of your shins and your calves. Soften the muscles of your thighs and your hips. Breathe in deeply, feeling expansion across your belly. Exhale, softening and release. Relax across your low back, your upper back, your chest. Relax the muscles of your shoulders, upper arms, forearms. Soften all the way down to the hands and tips of each finger. Relax the muscles of your neck, of your jaw. Soften all the muscles of your face. Relax your entire body from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Resting here for a few moments in Shavasana. Gently start to bring some movement back to your body, wiggling fingers and toes, maybe rotating wrists and ankles. Might feel good to reach your arms overhead for a full body stretch, reaching front to back, deep, deep inhale, and exhaling with a sigh through the mouth. Might feel good to bend your knees one last time, hugging your knees in towards your chest, giving a little rock side to side. And then rolling on to right or left side, pausing there for a breath or two. And then using your top arm to press yourself up, coming to a comfortable seated position. Tall spine, eyes closed or soft gaze, hands resting in your lap. Just noticing how you feel. Noticing any shifts in sensation or energy level or thoughts running through the mind. Good. On our next breath, let's reach our arms out to the side, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands down through heart center. The light in me honors and reflects the beautiful light in you. Namaste.